the NFL will be in Miami, Florida for the Super Bowl. What teams will be there? What team will win? It is really the culmination of what we call Good Morning Football Prediction Week. Now, we have hit Defensive Player of the Year. We've hit all our division winners. I predict Kay's mustache will fall off at the end of the show. But this is the granddaddy of them all. We are each going to predict our Super Bowl matchup and our Super Bowl winner. This is the big one, my friends. And for all things like that, I turn to Nate Burleson, who is deep in thought. Nate, who wins the Super Bowl?
I'm going to make sure I get this right.
Okay.
All right, so the two teams that I selected. Two teams that had very polar opposite off seasons. One team, extremely hyped. Almost all we talked about. Another team, you could say, flying under the radar. So coming out of the NFC, I'm going to go with one of my former squads, the Seattle Seahawks. Now listen, I'm not saying they're going to win the division, but I do know that they're going to get into the playoffs, maybe a wild card, and they're going to shock everybody. Now, the other team I talked about that we hyped up all offseason, that I hyped up all offseason.
Put your name on it.
Out of the AFC, going to the Super Bowl, the Cleveland Browns.
Hey, Nate. Come on.
So now you're saying, Nate,
Seahawks,
Seattle
Browns.
Seahawks
Imagine.
versus the Cleveland Browns? My, oh my, who would you select? I'm going with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Yes, he will go to his third Super Bowl and win his second. The disrespect from Russell Wilson is over. The additions of DK Metcalf at wide receiver. Tyler Lockett already there. The #1 running attack. Oh, and by the way, they got Jadeveon damn Clown.
Hey.
That's who I got. What's up, Peter? What you got,
love
man?
it. Come on, straight Nate. The Seahawks over the Browns.
I mean,
it's great. I love it.
32 teams, pick two. All right, let's go here. Here's how I look at it. Last year was the year of NFL offense. It blew up. Everyone was amazing. We saw all these points scored. This year, I think we're going to see more offense. I think the new rules even help offense, and I think two of the offensive coaches are going to square off in the Super Bowl. In the NFC, I've got the team that went there last year, beat the Saints in a very controversial NFC Championship game. All offseason, all we heard about was a penalty that wasn't called. Instead of saying, wait, a team actually won that game. It wasn't that another team just lost that game. I'm going to go with the redemption tour, Sean McVay Rams going back to the Super Bowl. Who would their opponent be? Well, it's a guy who needs a Super Bowl ring, and that's Andy Reid. I think the Chiefs finally get over the hump, finally get into the Super Bowl, and I think Andy finally gets a chance to go face-to-face with another coach other than Bill Belichick in the biggest game of his career. Mahomes versus Goff, McVay versus Reid, Aaron Donald versus Frank Clark. How's it all going to go down?
Who you got, Shregs?
I've got the Los Angeles Rams. And Los Angeles Rams, the redemption tour, they scored 3 points in the Super Bowl last year. I think they put up a doozy in this one. I've got Rams over the Chiefs.
A doozy.
I don't even know what that means.
Doesn't matter.
Rams over Chiefs.
Doesn't
Jared
matter.
Goff is your Super Bowl MVP. And away we go.
Shregs is struggling with the
That's
zipper.
it, Peter.
I know, I was like, it's very tight.
I
Bring your
look,
zippers, man.
Yeah.
Got problems.
I look crazy, but I want you to take me seriously out there watching.
Sure.
I really thought about my Super Bowl picks, and before I share them and before I decided for 2019, I had to really build on last year and think about what my prediction was in 2018, right? We might as well just play that again right now because that's right. Representing the NFC, I've got the Saints, and in the AFC, it is the Chargers. I am doubling down in 2019.
Okay.
Saints, they're on a trajectory. They got there. You mentioned it. Controversial call. You're wearing that jersey. I think the Saints go all the way this time. And as for the Chargers, Melvin Gordon's not there. Derwin James is out for a long time. But if anybody knows adversity and how to overcome injuries, it is this squad. Last year, they didn't have Melvin Gordon for 4 games. That's a quarter of the season. They were missing Keenan Allen in their biggest game against KC on Thursday night. Their best linebacker, Denzel Perryman, missed half the year. Joey Bosa missed more than half the year. Injury after injury. Guys like Tyrell Williams stepped up. They had adversity. They went on what? A 9-game road trip or something.
London, Cleveland, they were all over the world.
Cleveland, all over. Let me tell you, this 12-4 team that won a playoff game is not making any excuses. They're feeling bad for themselves. But I got to go with
There it is.
Who wins it?
the Saints.
Oh, after all that That's a pump fake.
Nola, be in
Okay.
this.
Hey,
Who dat?
the last time the Super Bowl was in Miami, I believe it was Drew Brees and Sean Payton hoisting a Lombardi.
Wow.
I'm doing it. Saints at Chargers. Saints win.
The Saints over the Chargers. All right, I'll get into this quickly. The team that's going to win the NFC this year, we're going to see them in a few hours right here in Chicago. I believe in the Bears. Call me a homer. I don't give a damn. I don't do that on this show. I see the Bears with the reigning coach of the year, the best defense in the world, and a quarterback who is going to make a jump this year. I believe the Chicago Bears are going to win the NFC.
Way to
In the
play to the
AFC,
crowd. Good job.
Absolutely. You can hear them roaring. Hey, thank you very much.
Massive crowd.
In the AFC, I believe in the Kansas City Chiefs. I do. You know, you want to talk about Andy Reid, can't get over it, can't do this. Andy Reid ain't never had a mother like Mahomes like this before. Patrick Mahomes solved the New England Patriots in the second half of that AFC title game. They had nothing for him. He needed one more drive. He didn't get it. I am seeing the Bears versus the Chiefs.
Nagy and Reid.
Versus Nagy, the Jedi, and the Padawan in the Super Bowl. And guys,
Who you
Do the right
got,
thing.
fam?
Do the right thing.
Who you got?
the Chicago Bears are going to win the Super Bowl next year. This year, it is the Kansas City Chiefs. I got this vision. I can't get it out of my head of Patrick Mahomes on a bus, on a Super Bowl float, just throwing beers to the crowd, going blocks and blocks, throwing them all the way out of the state.
No look ones.
And then the parade finally ends, and he sits down and signs a contract for about $500 million. Patrick Mahomes' league, the Bears will have their time 1 year from now, but it is this guy, the MVP, the Super Bowl winner. All that defense needs to be is just decent. Can you give me decent? I think they can. I think Mahomes wins the Lombardi.
Hey, what do you Bears fans think of this pick? Oh.
Can I just say one thing
Put
real
up a
quick?
brick against Rodgers.
We had America's game last night, and it was all a montage of people saying, the Patriots are done, the Patriots are done. Look at the four of us. Not a single Patriots jersey.
Hey.
Patriots are done.
Yeah, this will be on Do Your Job Part 3.
Part 4.
Part 4. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Hello, NFL
All right.
Film.
Well, listen, guys. As we know,
Yep.
the season kicks off tonight.